Picture this. You're floating in the middle of the ocean. The water stretches endlessly in every direction. Beneath you, the depths are dark and mysterious and utterly silent. For some, this is the ultimate adventure, a chance to explore the unknown. But for others, it's pure terror. This is thalassophobia, the intense fear of deep water. In today's video, we're diving into the depths of this fascinating fear, exploring what it is, why it happens, and even asking an important question. Is thalassophobia a real phobia, or is it just a term we've popularized online? Plus, we'll take a closer look at why so many of us find the ocean both fascinating and terrifying at the same time. Let's uncover the truth. Thalassophobia is derived from two Greek words, thalassa, meaning sea, and phobos, meaning fear. This isn't just a general fear of water. It's a specific fear of large, deep bodies of water, like oceans, seas, and sometimes even vast lakes. For someone with thalassophobia, the thought of what might be lurking in the depths, or the sheer vastness of the water can be paralyzing. People with thalassophobia often experience symptoms like sweating, rapid heartbeat, dizziness, or even full-blown panic attacks when confronted with deep water. And it's not just about the fear of drowning. It's the unknown, the uncontrollable, the terrifying vastness that lurks beneath. What's hiding in the dark? Is something watching, waiting? The fear it triggers runs deep, rooted in both our minds and bodies, ranging from a chill of unease to paralyzing, all-consuming terror. Here's where things get really interesting. Is thalassophobia a legitimate, diagnosable phobia, or just a label for a common fear of the ocean? Or is it simply a catchy term that's blown up on the internet? In recent years, the term thalassophobia has exploded in popularity thanks to social media. Millions of people have shared unsettling images of deep ocean trenches, strange underwater creatures, and even man-made structures submerged in water. But does that make it a medically recognized condition? To classify as a phobia, a fear must meet several criteria, according to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM-5, which is the primary tool for diagnosing mental health conditions. 1. Intense and irrational fear. The fear must be excessive and disproportionate to the actual threat posed. 2. Avoidance behavior. The person actively avoids the object or situation, or endures it with extreme distress. 3. Impairment in daily life. The fear must interfere with the person's ability to function at work, school, or in social settings. 4. Persistence. The fear must last for at least 6 months. So, while thalassophobia itself isn't officially recognized, if someone's fear of deep water meets these criteria, it could be diagnosed as a specific phobia. Many people feel uneasy about deep water. That doesn't automatically mean they have a phobia. Our discomfort with the unknown and the vastness of the ocean is a natural human response. A phobia goes beyond discomfort or unease. It's about the intensity of the fear and how much it interferes with someone's ability to function. For most people, a fear of deep water is situational and doesn't meet the clinical threshold of a phobia. Here's another interesting question. When we talk about thalassophobia, are we afraid of the deep water itself? Or is it the creatures lurking below that make our skin crawl? The answer isn't as straightforward as you might think. Thalassophobia can manifest as a fear of the water itself, its vastness, depth, and the unknown. For some, the idea of endless darkness and being surrounded by an environment where humans can't survive unaided is terrifying in and of itself. This fear taps into our primal instincts, the fear of losing control, being overwhelmed, or becoming vulnerable in an unfamiliar setting. But for others, it's not just the water. It's the possibility of what might be hiding in it. The ocean is home to countless species, many of which remain undiscovered. From sharks to giant squids, to strange alien-like creatures in the deep sea, these inhabitants add another layer of fear. Interestingly, some people experience both fears simultaneously. The water represents the unknown, and the creatures within it symbolize potential threats. The thought of encountering something dangerous, or even just strange and unfamiliar, can trigger intense anxiety. The fear of deep water creatures is rooted in both myth and reality. Movies like Jaws have ingrained the idea that the ocean is filled with predators just waiting to attack. In reality, most marine animals are harmless and avoid humans, but because we can't see what's below us, our imagination fills in the gaps. The fear of deep water is often compounded by the fear of creatures because it represents the ultimate unknown. This is a common phenomenon called submechanophobia, the fear of submerged objects. For some, it's the wreckage of a ship or a giant whale that triggers the fear, not just the water itself. This dual fear of the water and its creatures is why thalassophobia resonates with so many people. It's not just about drowning or getting lost. It's about confronting an alien world where we're not the apex predator. Throughout history, cultures worldwide have told stories of monstrous sea creatures, from the kraken of Norse mythology to tales of mermaids luring sailors to their doom. These narratives have shaped how we view the ocean. These stories tap into our innate fear of the unknown and amplify it. Even in modern times, when we know much more about marine life, these primal fears remain. Add in the eerie visuals of deep-sea creatures like the anglerfish or giant isopods, and it's easy to see why thalassophobia involves both the water and its inhabitants. So, whether your fear leans more toward the water itself, the creatures within it, or a mix of both, thalassophobia reminds us just how much of our planet is still uncharted territory, and how much we still have to learn. If you struggle with thalassophobia, there's good news. It's treatable. Let's talk about some of the most effective strategies. One of the most effective treatments is cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. This type of therapy helps individuals identify and challenge the negative thoughts associated with their fear. Another option is exposure therapy, where individuals are gradually exposed to their fear in a controlled, supportive environment. This might start with looking at photos of the ocean and eventually progress to wading in shallow water. Mindfulness and breathing exercises can also help. These techniques teach you how to stay grounded and manage anxiety in the moment. Ultimately, overcoming thalassophobia is about facing the fear and learning to reframe it. With the right support, it's possible to turn fear into fascination. Despite its fears, the ocean is one of the most incredible places on Earth. Let's take a moment to appreciate its wonders. The deep sea is home to some of the most unique ecosystems on the planet. From bioluminescent creatures to ancient shipwrecks, it's a reminder of how vast and interconnected our world truly is. Even the parts of the ocean that seem scary at first can hold breathtaking beauty. Exploring these depths isn't just about facing fear. It's about discovering something extraordinary. So, is thalassophobia real? Absolutely. Whether or not it's officially classified as a phobia, the fear of deep water can be deeply impactful for those who experience it. But it's also a reminder of our innate connection to nature and how the unknown can both terrify and inspire us. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the depths of thalassophobia. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. And let us know in the comments, what's your relationship with the ocean? Does it fill you with awe, fear, or maybe a little bit of both?